Well, excited about the upcoming season. We've been working extremely hard. The off season was very productive. You may have heard or read where we worked out with our police department, what we call fourth quarter Fridays for 7 weeks in the summertime. And I really thought that that was beneficial for our young ladies as well be able to train in that environment. I really think it's going to help us continue to win ball games, and especially those when they come down in the fourth quarter, because we can kind of flash back to the summertime. We've been working on getting better offensively and defensively, and with the post-game returning, the leadership of Ayana Mitchell, Faustina Fua, those two are going to be dominant players in the game for us. They're going to be players that we lean heavily on, and they're players who have produced throughout our practices. The guard play is strong. We're returning the starters of Jalen Richard Harris. Shanice Norton at one point started for us, as well as Kayla Pointer. So I'm looking forward to their veteran play, helping the young ones kind of come along and learn our system. This team is going to be, again, a team that is going to defend and rebound. We love the fact that we get in the passing lane, turn people over 20-plus times, so that's something that we consistently will harp on day in and day out. We are shooting more threes in practice. We've got more three-point shooters, so that helps. But I also like the fact that we're able to get to the lane and play some inside and play inside-outside type basketball. Yes, I am. I'm seeing a team that is taking on more responsibility of getting in the gym throughout the summer in preseason. We're putting up more shots from the three-point line than we've had in a long time. I'm seeing the play of the young ladies that I mentioned earlier just being very consistent, but also an improvement from last season. So they know they're going to have to pick up that scoring slack. We're going to get a lot more from our post game, having a post game that's a little bit more seasoned, a post game that held it down for us, finishing in the top 4 in the SEC, nationally ranked. That group is going to be instrumental in the overall success of our program.
Hey, Coach, Cody Worsham. You've talked about the importance of post play this year, but could you break down your point guard position and who's going to run the offense when you're for the floor?
Well, right now we've got Kayla Pointer running the point, as well as Jaden Richard Harris. Those two did a nice job last year of just controlling the offense. They did a nice job of also being threats from the perimeter. They are our two top returning scoring guards, so we expect them, and we expect that number to increase. But they're more comfortable. The longer you're in the system, the more comfortable you become. Their ability to run the team has been interesting because they haven't had a chance to run together. And last year we had a chance. There was chances there where we played both of them together. So I like the fact that both of them are seasoned, like I said, and they understand what the demands are at running the point for our program.
Hey, Coach. Billy Ambati with 24/7. How big of a difference does it make returning point guards and point guard production like that when looking at your team?
Well, it's huge. I mean, your point guard is like your quarterback to your team. So to have two of them returning from last year's team, they understand what I want from them. They understand the system. They understand time and possession. Their teammates are obviously looking at them to get them into the offense and distribute the basketball. But anytime that you got point guards that you're not having to replace, to me, I'm not having to sit there and call a lot of play action because they're going to already know what's expected of them and what to run.
Your contract extension got tabled 3 different times. I guess just kind of what was that period like for you, kind of being in I guess limbo, for lack of a better term, for a while?
Well, the communication obviously stayed open between Joe Oliva and myself and the administration, and their belief in what we're doing here and what our young ladies have accomplished. It was still something that we need to get done, and the board's ability to get that done for us in the college basketball world. The timing wasn't the greatest, but it definitely showed that the support of the board, the support of this administration, loving the fact that these young ladies are competing at a high level nationally for LSU. All of my student athletes have graduated with their degree. Some have gone on to get their masters. They're great citizens. Where they are now is even an impressive resume that they've built from whether they're playing overseas, playing professionally in WNBA, or going into their respective careers. And I think the thing to say about contracts, it's just part of it. And I'm glad that I'm here, and I plan to be here for a long time.
You guys added Ashley Johnson to the staff over the offseason. What do you expect her contributions to be, and her experience as a player here? Are the players reacting to that differently?
Well, whenever you can bring back one of your own, that's a great thing. Ashley is someone who is well respected in not only the LSU program, but also within women's basketball. And her experience, you've got somebody who has physically, emotionally been in their shoes. And our student athletes are able to, talk to her, use her as a resource. She's our overall director of player development. And she understands the lay of the land here academically, what they need to do. And she's just somebody that brings a different passion to the game. And I'm glad that she's joined our staff. And she's going to be one of those great coaches in the near future.
Coach, Mike Guggenheimer with The Advocate. In terms of this team's leadership, Ayanna was expecting to have a little bit of help with Chloe this year. Obviously, that's not how things worked out. How was she handled, kind of being that sole experienced leader for this team? And is there anyone else who's kind of stepped up to help her out in that regard?
Well, it's not easy running the point for any program. So to have Kayla Pointer and Jayla Richard-Harris returning, that's huge for our program. We've got Shanice Norton, who's been in our system now for 4 years as the lone senior. So she understands what's expected of her as well. So those three in particular, we're going to lean on their leadership and their experience. They've gotten the most minutes from last year's team coming into this season. The post play, Ayanna Mitchell is, arguably one of the best post players in our league. We're going to expect a lot from her, not only from her scoring, but her rebounding, her ability to just really be that emotional player for us. And when she's like that, the other players feed off of her. I like that Faustina Fua is definitely stepping into that responsibility as being a true post player inside for us. She and Yasmin establishing that dominance. And then, Raven Farley, she's come a long way. And I think she's going to be somebody that we're going to look to run the 4 and the 5 as well. So they're going to do that by committee inside that post game. The addition of our newcomers has been huge. Mercedes is one of the most vocal kids that I've coached in a long time. She talks constantly. And to have her on the roster has been a bright spot. Obviously, when you look at Ashley and what LaToya can do from the three-point line, again, these are young ladies that are learning our system, but they're not first years in the game. They come from the junior college world. So there's that experience that we've gained by adding those three to our roster.
You touched on Raven. Can you expand a little bit on her role and how you plan on kind of getting her involved a little more this year?
Well, you got a McDonald's All-American who we're expecting to play big this year. She's got a nice stroke. She can spread the defense. We're looking to put her in some more of the pick-and-pop situations, letting her cut down in the trail spot and knock down some threes for us. But she's also been scoring the ball in the paint for us. Raven is somebody that has a high basketball IQ, and the motion offense that we're running this season is going to play well to her talent.
Scott Rappley with The Advocate. What do you think of Devin White's suspension? I'm kidding. Everyone else has been asked, but I'm joking.
I can't comment.
I'm not trying to get you a fine. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You have the height in the front court that probably you've sought for a long time. You got that size. Maybe the guards are maybe a little undersized by what standards you like. Can you compensate with speed? Is that something that you can or depth? Is that something that you can try to make an advantage or less of a disadvantage?
Well, we run a matchup, so I like the speed of our team. I like the quickness that we present, and we've always been a team that gets after you defensively. When you look at the size of our team, Jalen Richard Harris is standing at 5'4" on a good day, but everybody else is around that 5'7", 5'8", and then when you add Raquel Spencer, who's now able to play, she gives us size on the perimeter. LaToya Ashman gives us size on the perimeter, standing at about 5'9". Mercedes can run both 3 and the 4, standing at 6 feet, so that gives us size on that perimeter, as well as Jalen Cherry. Her athleticism is pretty impressive. And so through the size, the athletes, the mobility of our post game, we're going to be tough to guard. We're going to be really tough to guard this year.
Last year you only lost 1 game at home. What is it about the PMAC that you always just come out and bring the speed here?
Well, it's home. I mean, there's a sense of pride that you have when you put on the purple and gold and you're playing in front of your home crowd and your fans, and you're able to put a product out there on the floor that they keep coming back and wanting to cheer for. We obviously want to take care of that home schedule. That's important, but it's also important that you win on the road. So we've got to be able to do both. And to only lose 1 game here in the PMAC when we had 3 or 4 top 20 teams come in here, to be able to say that we not only competed with the best, but we also beat the best. That's a testimony to the hard work that these young ladies have put forth.
How do you bring that intensity that you have at home and bring that when you go away or neutral site or whatever?
I wish I knew that magic formula could work on the road as easily, but I think the thing is that we try to take our team on the road and put them in hostile environments. My team was really young. They're still young, with 1 senior, with Shanice Norton. I remember we were playing at South Carolina last year, and I asked, the young ladies who's been in this arena, and 2 of my kids raised their hands. So that's how young we were last year as far as being on a road team. And I think the experience that they have gotten, I know it's going to help them going into this year and being a much better road team.
You've talked a lot about your 2 bigs. How do you think they pair together on the floor? How do their games complement each other, Faustine and Ayanna? I
mean, they're 2 of the best combos in the post game in our league. Those 2 together are a force to be reckoned with. They have the size, they have the athleticism, they have the quickness, and they have the skills. Faustina Fua is on track to definitely have an outstanding year. The way that she came back, her training this summer, preseason, just expecting a lot of great things from her. And then Mitchell is just getting better and better each year. So you're looking at 2 young ladies. One is a sophomore on the court and the other is just a junior on the court. And what they've been able to do and what they did last year with the size that was in our league, we're glad to see some of that size leave. You got Mercedes Russell, who's gone, Asia Wilson's, who's gone. You got a lot of size that's left, and those 2 really did a nice job of trying to compete and combat them. And this year, they're going to have an opportunity to really showcase what they're capable of doing.
We talked about the players that are returning. We talked about some of the players that left. You guys got a lot of pretty good junior college transfers. Do you expect any immediate big contributions from some of them?
Oh, definitely. They're gonna be ready to dive in and be able to help us immediately. Again, when you have junior college players who have gone to play in championships in the junior college league and have done very well at their respective colleges, then to come to LSU, they're ready. They've got a chance to be on a bigger stage, but they understand that level of being competitive night in and night out within our league and within our conference. I think the one thing about the three junior college kids is that everything that we've asked our returning players to do, they've gone through it and hadn't missed a beat, hadn't missed one workout, hadn't quit on one workout. They've just taken everything and really have tried to stay and really have excelled in all of those areas in preseason. The play action that we're running, they picked up on it fairly well, so our pace is moving like we've kind of scripted, and I'm glad that they're understanding what we're trying to do offensively and defensively, because to learn a whole new defensive scheme is not easy, as well as learning a whole new offensive package.
Any other questions for Coach Fargas?
Zach Nunez with Tiger TV. You have your exhibition match a little bit more than a week away. What are you looking for in preparation for the rest of the season?
Well, you know, we're looking to one, establish a dominant post presence. I think, you know, you can correlate that to football. You want to have that running game. We want to have paint points, and we can do that a couple of ways: by dribble drive and or putting the ball inside to our bigs and allowing them to really showcase what they're capable of doing. The other part of that is making sure that we're knocking down the perimeter jump shot. Our transition game is part of our game plan. We always want to run on everything, make misses, turnovers. We're pushing back at other people. And then defensively, just be that really hard-nosed defensive team that teams struggle to run their offense against. Our matchup can play like a man-to-man. It plays like a 1-3-1. At times it plays like a 3-2. In the course of a possession, we can switch and look like we're in a matchup and then go man on you. So I like the versatility that this group brings, because now I can have versatile lineups in there. I can go with a bigger, stronger, faster lineup, or I can go small ball and go with Ayanna Mitchell at the 5 with 4 true guards. So I'm able to play around a little bit with these combinations, and that's what we're going to do these first couple of games, to see what combination really work and go from there. But everybody's got to be ready. Everybody's getting reps. I'm grateful that we're healthy, and we've got a full roster ready to go.
Nikki, as far as the three-point shooting goes, is this something you say you want to shoot? You want to shoot more, obviously shoot a better percentage, but is this something you've wanted to do? You just hadn't played to your strengths, or is this something you're like, okay, we need to do this now because of the composition of this team?
I think it's both. You know, I mean, I don't want you to go back in the old record books, but Scott, I used to shoot the 3 myself now. So I'm a 3-point. I was tagged the 3-point specialist back in the day. No, but I think the 3 ball is something that you've got to work on and hunt for and be intentional with it. I also think it's the kids that you recruit, and you know, we don't have DeCurie here, we don't have Jenna Deemer. Those were young ladies who they specialized in that. I also see that the 3 ball is expanding more into your post game, and so to see Ayanna Mitchell stepping up and maybe getting 1 or 2 a game. Raven Farley is capable. Mercedes Brooks is somebody that also can shoot the 3. To have that in your game, I think, is going to be huge. You know, there's no question about it. Regine Lewis added the 3 ball to her game while she was here, but her mid-range jump shot was about as good as it gets. But I think this team is actually going to shoot more. They better make more. I mean, if you're going to put them up there, we want them to go in. But we are looking for them to expand their game and be comfortable in knocking down that 3-point shot. We made 4 a game last season, only gave up 5. There's teams that not necessarily has that stat ratio. They may make more, but they may just give up just as many. We want to be that team that flips that number, put them at 4 a game, and then us move our number up to anywhere from 6 to 7. So when you can have your post game adding into that number, I think that's going to be key for us as well as getting that 3 points, getting the 3-pointer to 5, 6, 7 a game.